Hello there, Barb here, and I'm by myself, so this is just Barb's Sclero-What Adventures! As you know, I was officially listed for double lung transplant 2.5 weeks ago on Friday, September 13th. It was a really good day, and you might be wondering now, what has been happening since then? And so what has been happening is basically I'm just getting everything ready. I am getting my to-go bag ready, my suitcases, one for the hospital, one for after. Once I actually get the call for transplant, when I leave my home, I'm probably going to be gone for 6 to 8 weeks from my house. And so I kind of need to have everything ready that I need to take with me to be gone for a couple months. So that's number one. I've also been doing cleaning and trying to get things done in my business so that my business can run smoothly while I am gone and not able to actually work my business. And for those of you that don't know, I am a Norwex independent sales consultant. I love to share with people how they can live without toxic chemicals in their lives. It's just not necessary. You don't need all the yucky stuff in your life, especially for breathing purposes. You really can clean with a cloth and water, and that's really all you need to be able to clean your home, clean your body, all of the things. So that's what I do for a living, is I share all that, and I teach people how they can live like that too. Of course, I want my business to be strong and stable and still there for when I'm done with transplant. And so I'm setting up all the things to make that happen. And thank goodness I have a tribe of amazing people that are willing to help me run my business while I'm not going to be available. That's what I've been doing the last couple weeks. Then this week, we actually went to Chicago to see my rheumatologist, and I wanted to definitely go see my rheumatologist because I might not see her again for a while. And I definitely wanted her to see me physically and in person and to show her where I was at in the whole process. And we had a great visit. Of course, she didn't really have anything new to tell me or suggest to me because she knows I'm on transplant list. Like, that's number one right now are my lungs. And so that's where we're going with everything. She's very happy that I'm on the transplant list and believes that that's definitely the path that I need to be on. Then we went to Iowa City yesterday, and so officially being on the transplant list, you receive a number when you get put on the list. And then the transplant team has you periodically come in and do all the testing again to see if your disease has progressed, to see if your number increases. So to increase the chances of you getting the next call, to move me up on the list, and all the things. So that is what the purpose of the testing yesterday. We did, of course, blood draws, lab work. We did pulmonary function test. We did the 6-minute walk test. And then I met with my transplant pulmonologist. The most amazing thing that happened is that my transplant pulmonologist, he is actually an avid bicyclist also. And we made a deal yesterday that he is actually going to ride RAGBRAI with me in RAGBRAI 2026. So stay tuned. Dr. Pina is going to be on RAGBRAI with me in 2026. He says that I'm not going to be able to do RAGBRAI next year because I could not do it within 1 year of transplant because of the risk of falling, and of course because my sternum is going to be cut and I'm going to have a titanium plate and wires and all of that in there, that it's just not recommended that I bicycle before the 1 year mark. So, that was a little bit of a bummer for me to know that I will not be riding RAGBRAI next year. But it is what it is, right? But in 2026, I will be back on the RAGBRAI route, and Dr. Pena is going to be with me. And so that was the most fun, exciting news. Then in other news, I haven't got the results of the pulmonary function test or my lab work or anything. So I don't know if my CAS number will increase or not, but my 6-minute walk test was hard and not great. So the last time I did it, July 31st, we started, I don't know, you guys will have to tell me. I don't know, we started lower, we ended up at 15 liters, and I still desaturated. I know that I'm using a lot of oxygen right now, so I told her that we needed to start a lot higher, and I told her that if we start on 15, I'm still going to desaturate. So she went ahead and started the test on 23 liters, and so which of course at 23 liters before I started walking, I was probably 98 to 100% saturated, oxygen saturation, which should be the case. And at about halfway through the test on 23 liters, I was desaturating. I went down to 92, and so she made the decision to turn me up to 15 to keep me in that safe saturation zone. And so I actually finished the test the last 3 minutes were on 30 liters of oxygen, and which is a lot of oxygen, people. It is a lot of oxygen. I had a cannula and then a mask on, and it was like a tornado going into your face at all times. So it was a little bit like it makes your eyes water. It's a lot of oxygen coming at you at one time, but that is what was necessary to keep my oxygen saturations in the safe area. And so that was a little disheartening that I'm needing that much oxygen to stay saturated. But it honestly really wasn't anything that I didn't expect, because I know that I've been desaturating using 15 liters walking here at home. One good thing to note is I actually walked further yesterday than I did on July 31st. So I actually did another 15 feet. And that could also be because she stopped me. The pulmonary rehab person stopped me on July 31st. She stopped me to turn up my oxygen. This time they did not stop me. They were able to turn up the oxygen as we were walking. And so there you go. I got to go 15 more feet. And so that's where we're at. So now I will be going to Iowa City at least once a month to redo all these tests, to attempt to get a higher CAS number so that I can get my transplant faster. And we have no idea when transplant is coming. Of course, it is a deceased donor that is used, so we have no idea when that will actually happen. So, yeah, so continue to pray that it is not too long, because I'm using more and more oxygen, and that was one thing that Dr. Pena warned me about, that if I continue using a lot of oxygen, I will end up in the hospital waiting for transplant, and we don't want that. I want to be here at home and get the call here at home. So that's where we're at. Keep me in your prayers, and we will keep on keeping on. Be better today than you were yesterday, and we will see you again soon. Aloha.